No, thanks, James. My number one fan right there. So I want to tell you guys a story this evening, all right? And this is the story of how I came to realize, just as we program our devices can program us as well, okay? This all started at work. Now, at the time, we didn't really have breaks at my work, maybe 30 minutes for lunch. So I started taking liberal potty breaks. You know the kind I'm talking about. When you're sitting down doing your business and you're like, if I get up now, I'm gonna fall over because my legs are definitely asleep. And I chose the bathroom. I discovered the bathroom is the original safe space. When you're in there, the world will wait for you. You are not to be bothered, disturbed, or rushed while you're in the bathroom. So to the bathroom I retreated. Now my routine would look something like this. I would sit down, pull out my phone, check my texts, remember how alone I am. Then I'd go to Facebook, scroll for a little bit, remember how alone everyone else is. And then I'd usually wash it all down with a few YouTube videos. Then I'd stand up, fall on the floor, and wait for circulation to return to my lower extremity. Now, it was about a month into this routine when I started to notice. I was at work. I'm a mechanic, so I was wrenching on airplanes. I was in perfect comfort. I was not hungry nor thirsty. The temperature was fine, and I had no bodily urges to speak of. And then I pulled out my phone. I went to my text messages. And I was inexplicably stricken with the urge to urinate. Have you guys seen The Office? There's a scene where Jim Halpert is Pavlovian training Dwight Schrute to demand a mint every time he hears his email notifications. Yeah, I just did that to my bladder. I somehow quantum entangle my text app to my bodily urges. All right, it was quite violating. It took me a month to deprogram myself. But that's not the only place, I assure you. All right, the other place I've noticed it, I was at my wife's big family vacation. Aunts, uncles, cousins, third cousins, fifth cousins, everybody goes to the beach for a week. And you know what they do at the beach for a week? They sit in the sun and they read books. This is a problem because I hate the sun and I don't read. Luckily, I found this wonderful, revolutionary thing called the audio book. It's a book, but it's audio. Basically, somebody just reads you a book. So you just sit on the beach and get read a book. I was like, this is perfect. I'm gonna go with my favorite movie, Jurassic Park. Love them. I'm gonna read the book, because there's a book. Man, that book is 3 times scarier than the movie. All right, I'm listening to it at work, wrenching on airplanes, I'm sweating, my heart's palpitating. I'm experiencing anxiety listening to these characters try not to get eaten. Because I'm a good Christian boy, I listen to the Bible. But I chose the King James version, which was way more entertaining than I thought it would be. I was in Deuteronomy, and it was and behold, on the Sabbath, thine ox and thine ass shall rest. Man, that spoke to me. We just gotta rest that ox, man. I just wish Joel Osteen was narrating, And brother, the Lord, He wants that for you. He wants you to give that poor thing a rest. You overwork it and experience uninterrupted financial prosperity. Wait, no, that was a different book. But then, after I went Old Testament, I went New Testament. And then I noticed. I was in the book of John. The love gospel. I was at work, wrenching on airplanes, and I start sweating. And my heart rate starts rising. I'm like, what is happening right now? I'm like, and behold, Jesus sent the disciples into Samaria, and He was there at the well alone. And I was like, Jesus, that's not good, man. You can't be alone like that, all right? That's danger, all right? If you're alone, it's danger. You're vulnerable. You need to regroup. I'm like, why am I afraid for Jesus right now? And then it hit me. I know this voice. I've heard this narrator before. The same guy that read the most anxiety-inducing book I'd ever listened to is reading the Gospel of John, and it's freaking me out. Okay, and Jesus and his disciples went to Bethany. And I'm like, no, Jesus, don't go to Bethany, you're gonna get eaten. Alright, so now I need to pee when I check my texts. And I get anxiety listening to the gospel. Thanks, technology. Okay, but it's not just me. I've seen it happen to others. I was at the beach with my wife in the sun, listening to a book. Because that's just what I do now. And these 3 teenage girls walk by. One of them pulls out her phone. From somewhere. Her beach attire didn't really have pockets, so I don't know where it came from. But she pulled it out and went to take a selfie, and it looked something like this. I was like, I know what happened here. Her phone, added a coding error into her, all right? And now, every time this chick takes a selfie, she glitches. Do you know how inconvenient that is for a teenage girl? How many selfies does a teenage girl need to take in a day? And to think that she's inconvenienced by glitching every single time, it's just too much, man. Our technology has gone too far. But in all seriousness, technology has improved our lives in very many ways. But I want you all to just be more observant in the ways your technology is programming you. And if you're not careful, you, too, may be inexplicably stricken with the urge to urinate. Thank you.